How are home prices still going up? Gas is at a record high, but we do have hope for that. And now they're talking about food prices going up. What's next? Let's talk about it. Hey folks, thank you for tuning in. I'm Wayne Turner. I'm a real estate broker, and yes, I still sell real estate and have been for the last 26 years. So Russia invaded Ukraine, and ever since then, 6 weeks ago, as of this viewing, gas prices have gone through the roof. Now, it's hard to just point the finger at that because we've all seen the price of gas go up over the last year and a half. So this is leaving some like Will Smith at the Oscars basically wanting to take matters into their own hands for those that blame others. So currently the national average for a gallon of gasoline has reached its record high ever in the history of the United States as of March 2022. The previous record was $4.11 a gallon. That was set in July of 2008. 14 years ago. Today, the cost of a gallon of gasoline, as of this recording, March 2022, is $4.24 a gallon. The cost of crude oil is $113 a barrel, up 86% from this time last year. Yes, March of last year, from today, crude oil is up 86%. Look, there's no denying it. We're all feeling the pinch of the pump. And it has a lot of us questioning if we're going to end up feeling like Carl with the K from Sling Blade.
It ain't got no gas in it.
And it's not only gas. Now we're hearing this food shortage and what's going to happen with the cost of food. President Biden said that a food shortage is going to be real following the sanctions that were placed on Russia by the U.S. government as a result of Russian President Vladimir Putin's invasion into the Ukraine. With regard to food shortage, yes, we did talk about food shortage. It's going to be real, Biden said at a press conference at a NATO last week. Russia and Ukraine export nearly 35% of all of the grain produced around the world. And by shutting down these ports, it's basically putting a strong pinch on things like barley, wheat, corn, and vegetable oil. Look, it's hard not to see the writing on the wall. It's hard not to think that prices of things will not go up. And as we roll into second, third, and fourth quarter into the year. So just like many years past, recessions past, decades past, if you follow the history, every time gasoline goes up, crude oil, if you will, because the crude oil is what makes gasoline. But it's not just in gasoline, it's not just in oil. Crude oil is in everything we touch, we eat, we smell, everything. Crude oil is in everything. Look, inflation is up now over 8% as gasoline spikes, food's about to hike, and absolutely the cost of everything is going up. And as I'd mentioned before, crude oil is up 86% from a year ago. Now, the federal government has increased interest rates, and the cost basically to borrow that money, according to Bankrate today, the interest rates are 4.56%. That's roughly on a 30-year fixed mortgage. Now, the National Association of Realtors say pending home sales has dwindled down 4.1% in February. Well, of course they did. There's not that many homes to purchase. I mean, typically there's thousands of homes, hundreds of thousands of homes on the market. Right now there's 1.1 million real estate agents and only 700,000 homes to sell. And of course the home decline in February is a result of the 4 previous months of decline. We're constantly seeing the decline. And a lot of that is because of just the winter months. There's fewer homes sold, but there's so many fewer homes to purchase today or this last 3 to 6 months rolling at the end of 2021 into 2022 that you can't help but see the numbers diminish. Now, the president of the National Association of Realtors, Lawrence Yun, said it's quite simple. The numbers, of course they're going to go down. He said the same thing. They're simply going to go down because there's simply not that many homes on the market. Go with me here. When a homeowner goes to sell their property, I've had people say, well, the realtor prices the property. Realtors do not price property. We would love to price property sometimes because oftentimes a homeowner is not realistic, even to this market. So how do these prices continue to elevate? The million-dollar question is, if so many homes are purchased with a mortgage, how are they able to appraise? This is how. When a residential property is placed on the market for sale, the real estate agent typically does just like a real estate appraiser is required to do, and that is to pull 6 months of the most comparable properties to the home you're pricing, and they have to go within a 3-mile radius of that subject home. So they're looking at apples to apples, meaning that they're looking at bedrooms, baths, square footage within a 3-mile radius of that home, and they find comparable properties as close to that home, as closely comparable to that home. They can stretch 3 miles out, and they can go back 6 months. What happens is when there's a cash buyer for a property, there's no appraisal. So listen to me here. Go with me here. Listen to me here. When a home is not appraised, but it's on the market for sale, it is then sold and closed. At that point, that price is recorded into the MLS, the multiple listing service. That's the service that all realtors and all appraisers use, not just around the country. It's done the same way around the world. So when you list a property and you sell that property, if that property is sold for more than list price to a cash buyer, then what is recorded in the MLS is that purchase price. Thus the old saying, a home's only worth, or property's only worth what a buyer's willing to pay. That is correct. So now that happens a few times, and as a homeowner puts their home on the market and an appraiser appraises it, say 3 months into the future, 3 months down the road, now you have a comparable property that it actually didn't get appraised. It was just sold for what a buyer was willing to pay for it, and pay for it with cash. So when you're trying to justify the value of your home, it's easy to say, well, a buyer believed that that home that's comparable to mine was worth $174 a square foot or whatever it may be. So then mine can be placed on the market for the same amount per square foot. And as a result, I can sell that property. Now look, it's not always that case. This is a crazy market. I've been doing this for 26 years, and I'll tell you, I'm in uncharted waters here. I've never had three weeks of inventory in my market, in my area. Here in Metro New Orleans, 3 weeks of houses. That's the supply of homes. If not another single home is listed in the Metro New Orleans area, there wouldn't be any homes to sell. 3 weeks. But let's go back. Let's go back to 2007 when it really started hitting the fan. And we really kind of seen that in Florida. Florida market was going crazy, and then it just stopped like that. Now rolling into 2008, 2009, we've seen a lot of homes go into foreclosure and pre-foreclosure. Pre-foreclosure is similar to what the home hadn't been foreclosed on, but it's a potential, it could be short sold, meaning that the homeowner could put the home on the market and sell it and negotiate with the bank to take a less than payoff on the mortgage. And we've had people that were behind, unfortunately, some a year or two and hadn't paid their mortgage. What happens then is the home gets put on the market and sold. The homeowner, they don't care what it sells for. They just need to get out from underneath it. So now you had a record high foreclosures in 2008, 2009. Those foreclosures are recorded sales. They are recorded sales. Just like I said, if somebody makes up the difference and pays more than the appraised value or pays cash for a home and doesn't have it appraised, those inflated prices are comparable sales. Just like when there's foreclosures on the market or short sale on the market, they are comparable sales. So real estate appraisers have to take that into account because that is the market. Now, they know it's a cash purchase. They know it's a foreclosure. But at the end of the day, that's the ebb and flow of the real estate. It's basically how it works. According to a new report from Redfin, home prices have jumped the highest since 2021, summer of 2021. As this is recording, there's been a 17% increase in property values just this year. At the same time, there's been a 7% decrease in property listings, which still is keeping a huge flow of buyers wanting to purchase properties, even though the interest rates are 4.56%. 60% of all the homes that are being sold in the United States this year have been sold in literally less than 2 weeks. And 50% of those homes are being sold for full price or more. This is an all-time high. So as I mentioned, home values, home prices are up. People are making up the difference between the appraised value and the purchase price. People are paying cash for properties. Crude oil's up and it's in everything. The good news is the United States government said this morning that they're going to be releasing some emergency barrels, like 1 million barrels a day of crude oil from the United States to kind of release the burden of fuel prices. So until next time, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, like the video, and let us know. Give us a comment. Let us know what you'd like to hear. Let us know what you think is going on and what will happen in the future. Have a good day.